When you see a price tag at the airport, you're probably going to wince a little bit if you have not properly clenched in anticipation of getting gouged. Our Steve Steger looked into DIA's current pricing policy and an effort at the state legislature to hold businesses accountable for charging you a whole bunch when you're trapped.
$10 more for a phone cable, double the price for a bag of pretzels.
Thank you.
And a cup of coffee marked up 54% from the Starbucks down the road. Makes you think anything goes at DIA, but that's not true.
Our policy states that all concessionaires have to have pricing set at no more than 15% above street pricing.
We tracked 80 items and found nearly 3/4 of them were selling for more than 15% over the prices we found on the outside. DIA told us most of the prices we tracked were approved and compliant with their 15% policy because the vendors get to pick their price comparisons.
This is one of the places where I think we are just used to being gouged over and over again.
Alex Zokaie is with Groundwork Collaborative, a progressive advocacy group pushing for adherence to street pricing at airports.
Where we take umbrage is places like stadiums, concert venues, airports that are constructed with public money where we're not getting any public return.
He looked at our numbers.
I was pretty shocked by the spreadsheet, particularly the number of columns that had triple digits in front of them.
Like Starbucks, where the menu was marked up by 30 to 50% compared to off-airport prices. We found Starbucks doesn't even attempt to follow the airport's policy and compare to a street price. They just offer a corporate price list for all of their airport locations across the country. And DIA is cool with that.
We, along with all the other airports in America, have approved this. Why? Because our customers want Starbucks and they're willing to pay the prices.
There is a financial incentive for the airport, too.
We would make less money from the 10 million cups of coffee sold.
So it would hurt you
Financially.
to force them to come into compliance with the street pricing rule.
It would hurt us, but again, we care more about the guests than we do dollars, but it is our job to make money.
There's kind of a fundamental conflict of interest here. That's why we have encouraged more state consumer protection agencies and competition agencies to get more involved in these issues.
That is happening at the state legislature.
This bill is saying that you cannot, in those settings, charge an excessive price.
Democratic State Representative Yara Zokaie introduced a bill that would ban businesses from charging more inside a so-called captive setting, the airport, a stadium, or even a hospital or prison.
How do you even begin to police that?
So the enforcement mechanism for this bill is with the Attorney General's office. And so this is giving them the authority to say these prices are excessive. Those corporations can come back and explain why they haven't, but it is giving our AG's office that empowerment to go after price gouging.
She says it's already getting pushback. But Zokaie says getting customers' attention to this helps.
The most effective way to change behavior at some of these locations is for citizens to be aware of.
So the airport's argument here is simple. The businesses there have higher costs, like higher rent, labor, and logistics costs. So they allow them to compare prices with businesses with higher prices, or in Starbucks' case, just not compare them to Denver at all. We've got our full list of findings in this long article on 9news.com. It's tough sometimes to find things on 9news.com. So if you text the words airport prices to 303-871-1491, we'll send you the article. It has all of the 80 plus items we looked at, all the comparisons that we used. You can see our methodology and how we figured this out. It's going to be an interesting discussion at the legislature.
I'm curious how other airports deal with this, because I wonder if there isn't some middle ground between government price setting, right? The AG decides what everything costs in Colorado, and then this system at DIA where they're basically just like, well, how much do you want to ring them out for?
There are different philosophies, right? You've got the airport in Portland that says strict street pricing. Everything in here must match the street price. They audit it every year. They say they see revenue increase because people buy more things because they feel more comfortable. Then you have airports like Phoenix who just said, you know what, get rid of any street pricing policy that we have. They say they've had success there. I'd be interested to double check those numbers, but
until then, $40 phone chargers for all of us.
Yes.
All right, Steve Steger, thank you.